Okay, so I wanted to cover this little bit of news here, and I wanted to make sure I did it right. I did record it earlier, but I'm not happy with how I recorded it last time, so I'm actually going to write that now and make sure I do a proper job of it. Wait a minute, and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime. Welcome to Yuusha Bulletin. And this time, my anime list has actually harmed its own I messed that up. It hurt its own image. It wasn't even the drama that went on in the background of Ishizoka reviewers itself. It was my anime list that brought the hammer down on themselves. They harmed their own reputation. And on this little news source as well from Nyanya, I'm also going to link it down in the description below. And I'm also going to link down a YouTuber who made a video who inspired me to actually cover this. But I wanted to make sure that I also do my fair job by doing it properly, because I also want to cover it. As we all know, just a few days ago, even a week ago probably now, Ishizoka reviewers reached second place on my anime list, and it was all part of a meme. And we all know it was part of a meme because Nux Taku wanted to make probably one of the biggest flexes against Funimation. And it seems that my anime list took it in the really bad light. Like, good gosh. Noble Senpai, of course, covered this himself, but I'll also link his video as well as Nux Taku's as well, because these are all the main context videos if you want to also catch up with the story. And also, if you saw my last video, thank you all for 2,000 views, and that is insane to me in such a short amount of time. But anyway, the entire situation is covered in the above report, if you need any background story, of course. My anime list has since vowed to fix the situation, which I remember seeing the post myself when I went to check some bits going on with the actual Ishizoka reviewers' discussion pages as well. And I tell you what, it's very damn strict. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Okay. So, however, even I must say that I believe Mal is handling the situation terribly. Here's why. Nux and Noble received around 800,000 views or more in the Ishizoka reviewers' My Anime List videos. That is correct. Other YouTubers also cover this, for example, between myself and Yellow Flash. Also other great people. I would recommend subscribing to them. We have another couple 100,000 views. So my anime list in actuality received somewhere around 1 million views worth of free promotion from all of this between various channels. Now, we will need to keep this in mind for later on. So let's continue on. So, the first post, which this is the post that I remember seeing on here from No Life for Soul, which goes on to the topic rules for what will now happen on the Ishizoka reviewers page, which I must say is pretty ridiculous to some extent. So, existing topics relating to the entry score / rating / vote brigading, etc. are now locked. You cannot even talk about the subject anymore. All threads created after this timestamp must be only about the story of the anime itself. Interestingly though, behind this, they have decided to go saying creating new threads related to the rating or companies cancelling it may lead to immediate bans. I thought that was something that was related to the anime. So why can't people talk about the cancellation, about Tokyo MX, or maybe even the continuation with ATX at that? Why do these two specific points lead to immediate bans? It's not like most of them are going to be trying to cause an argument. Some people might not know what's going on and start their own thread. Be like, hey, but guys, do you mind telling me what's going on? And they can have their entire account deleted if they don't see this. That's a bit scary. Discussion relating to the entry score / rating / vote brigading, etc. goes here. Posts in other discussion threads about this may lead to immediate bans. So not only are they saying you can't say it on Ishizoka reviewers, but even if you mention it anywhere else, they will take you down, most possibly. complaints about the decision to nullify all votes related to the brigade, be they up or down votes, can go in the suggestion thread. And yes, there was people rating 10s and 1s to it, and then trying to bring it down in the ultimate irony of what was going on with Nux, Taku, as well as Noble. So it's quite comical to actually see this all go down, if I'm completely honest. And of course we have all the rules here. No encouraging vote manipulation. Thread is now moderated. No trolling/baiting. No abuse, harassment, spam. Avoiding the minimum character requirement. No backset modding. Of course, that's standard. And then it goes on a bit more personal. And this is when this quote comes in right here. What happened to the score? On Wednesday, one YouTuber, they don't even mention Nux Taku on this, one YouTuber told his 1 million followers to go to My Anime List, register an account, by the rules by the way, he said to do it by the rules, no other way. Register an account if necessary, and vote Ishizoka reviewers a 10. Another YouTuber with 1.4 million followers has now jumped on the bandwagon and told his followers to do the same. Yeah, they all registered, and also gave you loads more people that could have used your platform if they didn't already use it. Some people may not have even known it existed, so potentially they could have given you more users through this attempt at meme making. It was all for memes against Funimation, which, to be honest, Nux has... Well, he's flexed a few times on the internet. Let's be honest, he has flexed on the internet. And jumped on the bandwagon is a bit of a weird way to put it, don't you think? It was all for meme potential. I know that much. It's as if they're afraid of indirectly promoting the YouTubers. Yes, in an ultimate, backwards thinking thing, in a way, if you think about it. Because both Lost Paws and Nux Taku gave free advertiser traffic, and they were afraid to say anything to the both of them, which is very surprising, or even say their names, which I understand if you're annoyed about the entire situation you wouldn't want to mention their names, but it's not like they're a freaking evil mastermind that are ready to jump on you, or there's vultures waiting in the comments to eat you alive. Surely not. Anyway, Mal would be much better off enjoying the memes from this situation, thanking the new members on the site, and mutually promoting Nux and Noble, which of course was 20,000 new people. 20,000. That is a lot of new accounts. They can do all of that while still working to remedy the votes, and the anime community would see them in a much better light. But that's just my 2 cents. They could have been doing that, but instead they chose to attack the new potential viewers who are following someone from Meme Potential, and probably would have even used the site. So they could have brought more viewers to this in this attempt at, in this time where Funimation's being memed to all hell. And I love the memes, by the way. They are nice. It gets worse, by the way. And here we go. You ready to see how bad this gets? Even on Twitter, Kineta, lead administrator for My Anime List, according to their bio, refuses to name Nux or Noble, just like the post up here by No Life of Soul. So, they say they aren't bots. A YouTuber told his 1 million followers to go upvote the anime on My Anime List, and so far about 20,000 have done so. Our anti-rating troll measures are planned to take effect sometime this month. So, how are you going to identify anti-rating troll? Is a good question here. Are they going to look at each individual user, and if they don't give a good enough review or something, they're going to delete the account? Or are they actually going to have a system in place to stop any form of bots coming in, or maybe even stop second accounts being created? Duplicate accounts being created even. I'll be creating an announcement once the exact date is decided. And then Superniter on Twitter asked them a question. Well, state to them, your mods complain about interspecies because, 1, duplicate accounts to upvote it. Which, on this one, I agree why they should complain about duplicate accounts. Which, by the way, Nux and Noble did not back at all. They told you to make... Well, they said if you want to, you can go and make an account. the right way, which is using your email, making up your own username and your password, and that was it. That's all you had to do, and then give it a 10. That was it. They said if you want to. They didn't tell them like a freaking blind gang that follows their leader to just give people hell. Of course not. And 2, actual users inflating the score. I disagree. The show via legal conventional means is cancelled, so we can only go off of what has been shown to us. Yes. And also, it's easy to say that my anime list is kind of, in a way, I'm going to quote Noble in this one, it's a bit like Wikipedia. It's not completely factual. Like me, myself, I have a controversial opinion, and my one was, I don't think... Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the best anime in the world. I think it's amazing, but I don't think it's the best. But on my anime list, it's number 1, according to audience votes. And also, an audience sometimes can be biased. I'm not saying that to rain down on people and say their opinion is wrong, but my opinion differs to them. I'm glad that people can enjoy something more than I can. And if people hate something that I enjoy, well, that's just them. I can't help that. Anyway, Kineta replies, when a person tells his 1 million plus followers to go to a website and vote something, yes, no, 10, 1, 5, green, and 15,000 plus votes of that specific value come in, over 12 hours over 12 hours later, that is the definition of vote brigading. If you disagree with that, then we need to agree to disagree. So they are standing very strong on this opinion. They have already accepted what they're going to do. They've literally got it on like that. Even if you vote a 5 or green, whatever that means. So I don't know what a green means on my enemy list. I haven't voted on there in a while. But the 5 as well? Why 5? I would understand a 10 and 1 because loads of people started giving it 1 straight after it was going near the top just to make it go all the way down, and that didn't help the situation at all whatsoever. So I'm pretty sure there was people being, well, I guess if they're quoting on Nux Taku and Noble, saying about giving it a 10 for meme potential, what about the people that were trying to also say about giving it 1s? But 5s? That's even weirder. Why a 5 of all things? That's probably the average of what some people would actually give the anime. Even one of my friends said he would give it a 5. So, but it still gets much worse. How about implying that Nux and or Noble are insane or allowing internet fame to get to their heads? Which, by the way, Kineta on Twitter also made this announcement later on. This is the exact same Kineta. And, oh goodness me, not only did they go and insult both the YouTubers who gave them the advertising, sure, albeit not in the most positive of ways it could have been done, this has just completely backfired on my enemy list. They've taken it as an offense, despite having all of the ad revenue and all of the clicks come to their website. So, let's read what I say. What Kineta says. I wanted to make a follow-up post here. In light of the current onslaught of Ishizoka reviewers, led by one individual who was seemingly either lost his marbles or let internet fame get to his head. So now that I'm considering that they're saying about Nux Taku, I'm pretty sure that Kineta could also be referencing Noble here. And I've got to say, that's a way to really remain professional, to insult another person by saying, by the way, you've got this many people, screw you, you're crazy. So you're just insulting someone for the sake of insulting someone. So you already don't look that great, Kineta. Thanks to this individual's easily influenced mob followers, this is where I had a bit of a falling out with you over this, Kineta. You went and insulted the fans. So not only did you insult the YouTubers, you went and insulted the potential users who came to your site. Easily influenced mob followers. How can you be sure How can you even say easily influenced? I understand why you would say mob, but I think it was more for meme purposes more than a protest. That's what I think this whole thing was. And in fact, Nux and Noble were even saying about it on their Twitters, even with Noble asking for like a try not to laugh involving Funimation memes. Hold on, I need a drink of water. There we go. So, I think it's a bit foul that you've went and attacked. Well, you've gone and insulted the two people, or possibly just one of them, but then you go and insult the fans. Just keep in mind, 1 million clicks, right? The videos, if I remember when I saw it, well, it said up above there was 800,000 views on both videos, or a combination. I can't remember which. I'm pretty sure it's a combination, but imagine that 800,000 plus a few others that might not have already been there from other channels. So consider that 800,000. There was 20,000 new accounts, and we can go by that because of what was set up here. So if we consider the 800,000, and then there's 20,000 new accounts that were created with the emails, how many people is that? That's not a lot. That really isn't a lot if you look at it. Like, that is just not... that is 2.5%. So you've insulted 2.5% of all of the viewers, or maybe if it's combined for them, we can even compromise and say 5%. You've basically gone and insulted 5% of new users, well, 5% of the audience who probably had never been members, and just said, oh, by the way, you guys dumb. I don't like what you did here. And also, you are new to this platform, so screw you all for doing this thing for a meme. Yeah, what a way to actually solve a problem by making yourself out to be so self-righteous that you actually make yourself look like an arrogant control freak. Ishizoka Reviewer's score had been tampered with so badly it makes the trolls who spam Chihiro Fuyu 3 look weak. I'm not 100% with what happened with Chihiro Fuyu. I think I heard it was actual bots. I may be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Chihiro Fuyu 3 actually had actual bots upvoting it as well, and I think it was to actually promote the third season as well, which in comparison to the other two seasons didn't do well, so it could have been even a marketing strategy from an outside source, but I can't confirm that. That is just a possibility. So don't take that one so much to believe it instantly, because I don't know everything, of course. Finally, I just want to say thanks to the rational thinking users who posted or thought things similar to some comments in this Reddit thread. And this is when I get pretty annoyed with a platform that I used to love using. I used to love using this. And first off, you've already got a bias, Kineta. You've got a bias that's already here. When you say, I just want to say thanks to the rational thinking users. Ouch. Ouch. So, does this include every single person that voted 10 or a 1, even before this all transpired? And yes, I can understand why you're being annoyed, but there's a thing that annoys me the most in your statement, Kineta. And also, well done for still insulting people saying they have low intelligence because meme. I mean, it's not like any of your other animes on your platform actually got memed. Pingu in the City isn't actually an anime, yet it's 135th. And also a music video, Shelter, which is an awesome song by the way, is like one of the top ones on your list as well. But I don't think that should count as an anime. It is a music video and a song. It's great, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that should be on the list myself. It's not like my anime list is the god and law of what is top and what is not. It is an easily manipulatable place. I mean, Pingu in the City is not even Japanese, and it's still on the list as an anime. But getting off of that point, I know it soothed the moderator team a little to see others recognise that this senseless action only harms volunteers. Keep in mind with this volunteers bit, because this is where my anime list really is going to be questioned over the next couple of weeks, and users of an unrelated website. So, how do you know that these people are on an unrelated website? I used my enemy list. I didn't vote on a thing, but if I were to vote on it, I'd give it, well, if I could put for like a point numbers, I would put it as a 7.8 because it had a cute. I've already said everything I need to say about Ishishoku reviewers. That was in my previous video. As Kineta mentioned, some Reddit users rallied to support my enemy list, which they did. However, it got a bit messy. So, Maud Charcoal on this thread as well. The top post in the Reddit thread discussing the situation about Ishisoka reviewers and my enemy list is of course full of salt and double standards. To just go and intentionally sick your reviewers on them is just thoughtless at best and mean-spirited at worst. Show me the exact clip where Nux Taku demanded his followers, commanded his army to go and give this platform tons of clicks and new users to upvote something that is not set in law. It is not set in law on my enemy list, and anybody can manipulate anything at any time. This didn't even have to be Ishizoka reviewers. It didn't even have to be. So, where did he tell them all to attack the website? He didn't. He said, if you want to. Same with Noble. If you haven't already got an account, you can easily make one by just putting in your email, making your own name and everything, yada yada yada. And then you could easily end up getting on there in a matter of seconds, in fact. And then you could be able to find the anime you've already watched, keep track of what you've watched. Just like that. And also, Noble didn't do that either. None of these two did that. So, you guys are making yourselves look so vindictive rather than anything else. And also, volunteers picks up again. Please remember this because I'm about to tell you why it's important to remember this. As a writer between the various channels covering this situation, my enemy list in actuality received around 1 million views, worth of free promotion throughout the situation. That is correct. The claim that viewers are being sicked on my enemy list is also disingenuous. Disingenuous, sorry. There we go, I said it right. People were simply asked to go there and upvote Ishizoka reviewers. That was it. On top of that, Nux even encouraged his viewers to legitimately use my enemy list while they were there if they wanted. Yes, he did. So, it's silly. It's funny, but also kind of not. I did have a good kick out of it, though, which is also the Reddit thread above. Classic double standards here, yes. Rule for thee, not for me. So, you're basically saying, yeah, the situation is funny, but no. I mean, I can see why you'd think that, but at the same time, it's either one or the other. Like, yeah, you find it amusing, but it's not like my enemy list is God's law of the land. Reddit can laugh at the situation while condemning the YouTubers. Yeah, they can laugh at the situation, but they say, screw these people for actually making this situation happen and making us have a good laugh, which is kind of funny to think of it like that. By the way, despite the Reddit post talking about my enemy list by being run by volunteers, you can go there and see there are ads/affiliate marketing on the website. It is reasonable to assume that the extra traffic to go to the site likely provided additional gross profit to my enemy list. Yes, indeed. And this is where it gets important to remember the volunteers, guys. They also have an advertising form, which the minimum accepted budget is $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So they can get somewhere between, from one advertising placement alone, $120,000 to $240,000 a year. Just keep that in mind. That's the lowest one, by the way. So there's actually much more you can get as an advertisement placing. Each month we display 150 million page views to over 12 million unique visitors. And yes, this is also in the About My Anime List bit here. There we have that each month we display 150 million page views to over 12 million unique visitors. So they do actually have that there. There are plenty of sites out there with fully paid staff who have analytics that are a far cry from this. So if Reddit wants to get mad about volunteers allegedly not being paid, maybe they should go to MyAnimalist with that criticism and not attempt to use it as a merit against the YouTubers. Yeah, just keep in mind as well that these people are saying, oh, but the poor volunteers. Why don't you give them a little bit of that money that you are raking in from all this drama, instead of just giving them nothing for this whole period? Hey? Like, look here. That you can even put what you are, like a company wanting to advertise, your campaigning brief, and the minimum budget right there. What state you want it advertised in, your name, position, company, everything. So you can put that all right there. And here is where MyAnimalist hurts itself the most. And remember, I can't identify if this is in fact a real member of MyAnimalist, except for that it is in this individual's bio in their Twitter. And this is Shymander. I don't know if the person's he or she or whatever, doesn't matter. But what they said is where it gets messy. So, Shymander also uses the volunteer argument. So, just remember it's alleged because it's in their bio and we're going off that. Nuxtaku is an a-hole. No, he isn't funny. Telling your 1 million plus followers to create thousands of bot accounts, you don't know what bots are because they are legitimate accounts which another user also validated and is also a member of. So, what is it really? Do you actually know what's going on, Shymander? Okay, to boost, Ishitoku Reviewers does not flex on Funimation. It makes more backbreaking work for volunteers. Now this is where this gets nasty. So, just keep in mind for that bit, and I'll explain why in a second, who are already at their limit to keeping my anime list running. So, there's 3 things wrong with this. First off, if you are a social media manager, lashing out at another person as a social media manager is one of the worst things you can do in your position. So, you've already done well in your position to make yourself look bad, for one. For 2, bots. Really? Bot accounts. Even though Kineta, like above, said there was 20,000 new accounts. And apparently they must have been legitimate because this person has confirmed the number and have confirmed that they're possibly from the source because, of course, the time that it spiked, which is the only way you can judge it, of course. I mean, there could be like 100 in there that couldn't have been from that. So, do you actually know what happened, Shymander? Because I think you've really confused yourself here. Like, I think this is an angry spout, like a kid throwing its toys out of its pram. And here's the bit that makes me get rubbed off the wrong way, because it's more backbreaking work for volunteers. Now remember, they are probably getting lots of money, not only from clicks, but they are also getting money from advertisers. So why, oh why, are you making the volunteers do all of the dirty work? Don't you think that's a bit of a foul business practice right there? There's no way that MyAnimalist now, and I can say this without a doubt, is not for profit. Otherwise they wouldn't need this endorsement, and that's what it is. It's a company endorsement to get financial gain in order to pay staff, which I'm betting Shymander is. So, in other words, Shymander is getting paid not only to call out a YouTuber and insult him publicly and make himself and his team look worse, but not even analysing the situation and calling them all bots as an easy way to say, oh, they're not real people, which most likely I believe they are. A majority, in fact. There's only maybe a few double accounts, which I'll agree is not right. But the legit accounts who will probably be using your platform, who have probably helped you generate more chances of getting more advertisers as well, mind you, you've gone and said breaking work for volunteers. So in other words, the people who are getting paid nothing, you are making them work. Why? Why aren't the people who are getting paid on your website solving this issue? You are basically letting the people who are doing favors, who probably even want to work on your website because they are so passionate about using it and also interacting with the people who use your site. You are making them suffer more whilst you sit back and complain to other people about everything. What richness is that? And yeah, of course, Shyamander also doesn't seem to know what bot accounts are, which is very dumb to even spout that. That makes me think like you didn't even think about saying this. And I think the fact that you pointed out backbreaking work for volunteers is the worst part in this. So yeah, well done. Great idea to call Nux an a-hole too. Yeah, really top tier job in the social media there. Social media manager. Exactly. There's nothing more damning to a social media manager than literally insulting another person over social media. Good way to manage that situation. Also, staff claims the volunteers have to fix this situation. Yes, and it wasn't just one. It was two, in fact. It was both Kineta and Shymander, who both claimed that it's work for the volunteers. What about the people getting paid? So, does that mean you were exploiting the volunteer workers on your website? Did you possibly pressure them into working on there for free because of this whole thing? Because they felt obliged to? Because you want to work for them? If so, that is foul. Why is Mal then allegedly making the volunteers handle this and not their paid staff? Which is what I'm questioning the most about what's going on about My Enemy List. So, My Enemy List now has made itself look so bad to the public eye. And I love this site, but these two individuals right here, three individuals, sorry, who was at the top again? Let me have a look. So, No Life Assault. You three have ended up hurting your own website and have confirmed not only once, twice, well, not confirmed, you stated 3 times that it's backbreaking work and it's a strain on the volunteers. Why aren't the people getting paid fixing this? This could be an exploitation thing and maybe a money-cutting strategy that they had in mind in order to get as much money as possible from the website. I am saying possibly because I can't confirm or deny it. Of course, I'm only going on what's in front of me right here and what they have stated. So of course, if I have made any mistakes anywhere, please feel free to let me know. I just thought it'd be good to let everybody know about what's going on in the background because I felt like I don't need to talk about Issue Soccer reviewers anymore. That's over with and done with for now, in my opinion. I gave my 2 cents on it and my own opinion. But this, with My Enemy List, is a bit surprising because if they have truly done this and they've exploited volunteer workers instead of having their paid staff fix this, then I don't think that's right. They get at least $120,000 to $240,000 a month. Mind you, Amazon is already on there as well as one of those businesses. So that means they are confirmed to at least get $120,000 to $240,000 a month at the very least in America. For other countries and other companies, I don't know. So it could be My Enemy List is actually raking in a lot of money and has left, and they probably don't even know, the volunteers, that they are earning quite a lot of money from this. They probably don't even know. Or maybe they feel like they're helping out the community, which is a wholesome way to think about it. And I have no animosity at all for the volunteers. I feel sorry that they're even being convinced to do this by My Enemy List. Like, at least have your paid staff do it, not the volunteers. And also, I want to point out as well, I want to shout out Hirohei, who also done a very good take on this as well, and he was also the reason that I ended up taking on this topic as well. So go say hello to Hirohei from me if you haven't already seen him, and also say hello to Noble as well, with his topic on My Anime List hurting itself in its confusion, which I watched just a minute ago. So that is all from me on this Yuusha Bulletin. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want any more from me. And also, if you have any other topics you would like me to cover, please let me know down in the comments, because I might make Yuusha Bulletin a thing here and there. So, Sonaja guys. Almost certainly. See you next time. Man, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen next, but let's see.